Hi, this is Sarah Yates, and this is my semester project. I designed a workshop on the cognitive classroom, and actually, I had so much packed into my overview that it would work as a workshop series. It would cover several different workshops, and so I didn't want to delete anything out of this overview, and I've included it as a Word document. And I thought different ones might want to really focus on a different part of the workshop. And so I've left it all here just as a list of ideas and tried to present it in an organized fashion. And I picked one idea out of here and developed a workshop. And I've included a PowerPoint for that workshop that could be used, and also an evaluation that you would give your attendees at the end of the workshop, and also a ticket out the door that you would have them complete before they could leave the workshop. So we're going to start with an overview of different things that you might use in a workshop series on the cognitive classroom. And one thing that I thought might be interesting to talk about in a workshop would be practical issues that we learned about at the beginning of the semester from our SUSE text. And I also included a section on left and right brain learners because that's just fascinating. I found quite a bit of research on that, and left and right hemisphere. And then student retention. We've learned about using humor in the classroom. We've learned about motivating our learners. And motivation has quite a few bulleted items of things that you could discuss and explore in a workshop with teachers. I also put closure in the list because we need to be sure to include lots of activities that are going to bring about closure, using our time effectively in the classroom, and some different learning techniques. At the end of this agenda, I included some materials that you would need, evaluation, just some more ideas to ponder. But I want to spend time sharing my PowerPoint with you. And the PowerPoint focuses in on active learning or kinesthetic learning. And in the PowerPoint, we present some research at the beginning about how we should have an active classroom and some sources as to why. And I included sources throughout the PowerPoint for you to back up your workshop. And I included those in a black box here and there throughout the PowerPoint. And I put lots of ideas in, including an active classroom, and some of them might be a little bit over the top for some of us, but I thought this was just an interesting picture to include some different ideas of what of an active classroom might look like. And I thought this was really interesting, different gestures to actively involve your students in reading class. And as you're going through things in the classroom, they don't necessarily have to be getting up and doing jumping jacks or riding a stationary bike in class to be active. It might be something like holding up a microphone to ask "I wonder" or "what if" questions, and making binoculars with their hands to visualize what's happening in the story, or holding up a pretend magnifying glass to make a prediction. Holding up your hands like a pause button to pause in your reading and clarify what's going on, and then make a decision based on that. Are you ready to fast forward in the story and keep reading, or make your thumb go in the other direction and rewind for a bit? And then our little cowboy down here has a lasso. Students can twirl a lasso over their heads to kind of wrap it all together. And I just thought that was a good way to get the students involved in those reading questions. This is a picture that I found in the Kinesthetic Classroom and Curriculum Review, and talking about getting the students actively involved when you're talking about ideas in mathematics like circumference and diameter. This was another strategy, a social walk and talk that I thought we could share with teachers about engaging in conversation, and a gallery walk where students are up walking around the classroom looking at different exhibits, so to speak, on whatever lesson or thematic unit you are doing. And they can take notes, they can journal, they can leave sticky notes as they visit the different exhibits. So a gallery walk is a good way to get students actively involved in learning. And here is a picture of a graffiti wall where the students are up going around to different stations in the room writing, and graffiti wall was a fun strategy. And here, this one's on magnetism and electricity. And then I would pause in the workshop. I think this is the most important part of the workshop. And I would have my workshop attendees actually get up and try these strategies. And so try it now is just a pause point where you would pause what's going on in the workshop. And you might do here, we have carbohydrates, proteins, and saturated fats, but you can pick any topic and have the attendees get up and move around the classroom and try a graffiti wall. And then I included a section on foldables and different types of foldables just to give ideas. And I would share these ideas with the class, and then in a few minutes we're going to get up and try it again. So I would go over these first. This is a cause and effect foldable pattern that they could use, something that might generate an idea. Another type of foldable would be the three-door foldable, and they might be comparing the different countries that were involved in trying to get colonies going in the Americas, or they might be talking about the different types of triangles and their characteristics, or analyzing a character in a reading story. The hot dog foldable can be taken many different ways, and here are just some examples. This one's analyzing different genres of literature. This one's talking about the different triangles again. One of them that I saw took different mathematical terms such as sum and product and difference and add-ins and subtrahend, and as you lifted up the foldable it would have the definition underneath. So lots of different curriculum areas, content areas that you can use foldables for. There's the layered look for the book, and this one talks about the layers of the Earth's atmosphere. You could also do the different parts of the story, the setting and the plot. Lots of different things to do with a layered book. The accordion foldable is another idea. This one looks really artsy. There's different types of envelope folds that can be done, and the students lift up the different corners to see things underneath them. Here's another example of a way to do product, difference, sum. And then we would pause the workshop and have another try it now session. Bring the art supplies, bring the paper, get your attendees involved in that workshop. Then just share a few more as they come back, discuss how they liked that strategy, were they involved in their learning, get them excited about using these strategies in their classrooms. Show them a few more tables or charts, the Venn diagram, and since we're talking about active learning, it doesn't have to be the traditional Venn diagram. This one has a little bit of artsy craft feel to it. It's got some rural drawings over here and urban drawings. Then you do it with hula hoops as you're comparing and contrasting. And then this is a virtual Venn diagram that was found on readwritethink.org, and I think Dr. LeBlanc had shared this one with us. So I included some information for readwritethink.org. They have a lot of ideas on active learning. And then I would pause for reflection. Where am I with active engagement in the classroom? And try to get your attendees to commit to trying to use some active learning techniques and to think ahead about what assistance that they might need. And at this time I would have them use the evaluation of the workshop and which strategies that they think that they might be able to use. And I would ask them to fill out a ticket out the door. And I have these on a publisher document, which can be converted to Word or a PDF. But I would print these out and cut them apart and ask the attendees to fill out a ticket out the door. And as we were going through the PowerPoint, there were different references. And so at the end, I included all of the references. And just let me say, I know sometimes we ignore a reference list at the end, but I had so much fun with these books and articles. These were awesome. There's 3 or 4 or 5 slides of references, but they were just such interesting works that I couldn't decide which books to use. I ended up using a whole bunch of books for this. I've included a copy of my rubric as well, and also let me show you the evaluation here that I would use for the attendees that I would ask them to fill out. This is active learning the cognitive classroom. Did they feel that the presentation was organized and that you modeled the strategies and that they have some takeaways? Um, do they feel like there were enough references listed? And then on this evaluation, I also said, here are some of the strategies that we talked about: the gallery walk, foldables, charts, Venn diagrams, and ask them which ones they feel like they could use in their classroom. If it's fun, how could they adapt it to meet their needs? So I hope that this is a resource that many of you can use. The files are so large that I could not upload them to Learning House, and so I've put them in Dropbox, and I'm going to make that link available for you so that you will have access to everything in the folders. Thanks, and Merry Christmas.